The Secretary General of the Central Organization of Trade Unions, Francis Atwoli, is asking the government to honor all collective bargaining agreements reached with workers' unions. Speaking at St. Stephen's Anglican Church during a special mass ahead of Labour Day, Atwoli said it was wrong for the government to block efforts by workers to meet him. Present during the event was CORD leader Raila Odinga. We are joined by our reporter Murimi Mwangi live from the church. Murimi, good afternoon. Tell us more about this event today and who are present.
And so it has been the day of prayers for COTU ahead of the Labour Day celebrations that are set for May the 1st. The 50th time that the giant workers' union is set to hold that crucial day that, of course, presents an opportunity for them to articulate the issues of the Kenyan workers. And on the service here at the ACK St. Stephen's Church here along Jogoo Road in Nairobi, key issues among those that we expect to emerge on Friday are, of course, the unfulfilled collective bargaining agreements that are yet to be put into force. Again, issues of the minimum wage of the Kenyan workers in the public sector as well as in the private sector. And the information or the statements from the various leaders that spoke here is that the government or whatever workers in the private sector seem to be frustrating the Kenyan workers if the CBAs are not enforced despite being signed between the various players in whatever disputes that are there, the labor disputes that are there. And in particular, the ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi complained that the government seems to be frustrating the teachers. You remember late last year, the government was locked in a bitter war of words with the two giant teachers unions, NAT and KUPPET, a dispute that saw the intervention of President Uhuru Kenyatta himself when he invited leaders from the two unions to State House. And the discussions between the teachers and their employer, the TSC, were set to take off late last year. But up to now, the teachers insist that they are yet to get the fruits of that campaign that saw them be on the streets for a whole 1 week as the dispute went on between the teachers and the TSC. And of course, earlier this week, the General Secretary of the Trade Workers Union Congress of Kenya had issued a statement to the effect that workers across the public and private sector would be going on strike if the government does not enforce the CBAs ahead of that Labour Day celebrations on Friday. And therefore, key issues that we expect to emerge on Friday are, of course, issues to do with the working conditions of Kenyan workers, issues of pressure for the government to better the working condition to attract investors and create opportunities for more Kenyans. But interestingly, even on the function here, aside from the labor issues, politics took center stage yet again. Remember, CORD leader Raila Odinga was here. He was accompanied by Musalia Mudavadi of ANC and a host of other opposition leaders. But key among the leaders from the ruling Jubilee coalition that were here was Johnston Sakaja, nominated MP who also happens to be the TNA chairman, one who is said to be eyeing the gubernatorial seat here in Nairobi. And interestingly, the CORD leaders that spoke here seemed to be signaling the nominated TNA MP and of course the chairman of TNA, Mr. Johnston Sakaja, to move over to the opposition if he's keen to take the position of governor for Nairobi. And of course other issues include the dispute between the IEBC and the CORD coalition and the churches that want the IEBC to undergo a total overhaul ahead of the 2017 general election. And therefore it's a pace to watch going into tomorrow, as the CORD coalition has insisted that they will be staging a sit-in at the IEBC headquarters here in Nairobi. And so from here at the St. Stephen's Church here in Nairobi, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you very much. That is KTN's Murimi Mwangi reporting from the St. Stephen's Church in Nairobi, where the Central Organization of Trade Unions is holding a prayer day ahead of the Labour Day celebrations on Friday.